You think she's a good girl, but once you get to know her, you realize she's everything. She's crazy, she's funny, she's honest, and you'll never know what she'll do next.
Oh, I'm so excited you guys came back. This is going to be an amazing show. You are going to be so impressed to hear from Jeff Calvars. I met Jeff. Am I saying your name right, Jeff?
Calvars.
Calvars.
Yep.
Calvars.
Yes.
Well, I met Jeff. Where, Jeff? You want to say this? Do you remember?
Yep.
That's right. We met at the Speakpreneur, and I'm going to introduce also James Henderson, our tech team behind the camera there.
Yeah.
James is the mind that keeps this show going. Okay, but Jeff, I was so impressed by Jeff's talk, and he did speak at the Speakpreneur event and told a story of adversity. And that's what I'd love to hear is how you beat the adversity, like, because you've done very well with your successful business of landscaping, correct?
Mm-hmm. Palm health, landscaping, trees.
And it's called Ptolemy?
Ptolemy.
How'd you come up with that name, first of all?
My wife came up with that. I wanted a unique name that had nothing to do with palms or trees, and that's what she came up with. We do a lot of tree mapping, and so on the tree mapping side of things, Ptolemy was thousands of years. I think he was Greek, and he started doing mapping. So that's.
Is that a person, Ptolemy?
Yes, Ptolemy is.
I had no idea. I was like, I better ask how to say that one before I say
Hey,
that.
my wife would be much better at explaining that part.
All right, I'm gonna have to ask her about that. Okay, I'm gonna have to verify that.
That's right.
Anyway, so tell us about the adversity that you went through. It hasn't always been easy. I mean, obviously you've been very successful with what you're doing now, but tell us what it has been a rocky road for you, or has it been?
Oh yes. Well, anytime you're in business, you're gonna have failures. You're gonna have some ups and downs, and I've experienced those in the past 30 years. I've been in business in Florida, and one of my biggest losses just came about 7 years ago, and it was a big loss. My wife and I decided to go all in on this project. We spent months preparing for it, and it came down to actually signing the contract, and we ended up not getting it. And
What happened? What happened? I didn't.
looking back on it, I believe that I got in front of the decision maker. We had made all the right moves, and I just kind of froze, and fear got in, doubt, and I didn't close the deal. And then he said, "Hey, come back the next day." Well, later that day, he signed with a different company,
Oh my gosh!
and it was a $20 million opportunity,
Wow.
and it was a big loss. But one thing I've noticed is thinking about that, even from after my discussion and presentation, is we all think that there's these windows that we have that are going to be open. But that's why I left, because I thought, you know what, this window is going to be open tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll close the deal. But that window closed.
Yeah, always when I do real estate, so always when I do real estate deals, I find it really good to have the papers right there so they can sign it right there. Is that what you think too?
That's correct, because that window can close.
I know, it's like they're hot right now, but if you don't get their signature tomorrow, a whole bunch of other things could happen in 24 hours, right?
That's
Is
correct.
that what happens?
That is exactly what happened. Imagine going back to your wife after all these months. We sunk a lot of money into this and it didn't work. But one thing that I learned from that, we can all learn, is that windows close. So you really got to take advantage of that time when you have it
Wow.
right in front of you, just like you said.
Right. Now, what was your motivation to keep going after that kind of a letdown?
It was tough. I went through a lot of soul searching. 4 things that I've kind of figured out over time is that these 4 pillars is kind of what I go by now, is when I'm looking at, hey, you know what, I had a huge failure, or I don't know if what I'm doing is going to work. We've all been there. And the 4 pillars that I like to go by is revisit my purpose. Is this purpose, this goal that I'm going after, is it something I believe that I can attain? That's number 1. Do you believe you can attain it? Number 2 is, do you believe that you'll put in all the hard work necessary to reach it? Number 3, is it worth it? Is that goal worth it? And then the last pillar that I like to go by is make a decision. I talked about that at the Speakpreneur, is I feel like there's 3 key
Wow, it sounds like you got this all ready to go. Have you written a book yet?
Not yet, I'm working on it. Yeah, it's in there, it's just, I'm really passionate about it.
Right. Well, of course you have to be, right? So, so those are the things you've learned from this setback.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that you can add, do you think, that you've for the people out there that are just getting started, that, you know, and they're thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to change what I'm doing, or I don't know if I should go for that new job, or I don't know if I should go and try to get more business. Maybe my business is big enough. What kind of advice would you give those kind of people?
It starts in your belief. If you, like I said, if you believe in the purpose, you believe what you're going after is worth it, then don't let all those other beliefs, the negatives ones, take over. And so all of us do that. We all start thinking, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. This is a bad idea. This would never happen. Those are all negative beliefs, but that's not who you are.
Right.
That's not who you are. So you have to switch those and to think, I can do this. You know,
Right.
and why is it so important that you do it?
Right, exactly. Well,
Revisit those things.
so I read that you told USA Today that real resistance does not begin after loss. You need to start by making sure you never get there.
That's
I
right.
thought that was the most amazing quote ever.
And that's what it is. And resilience too is also, I think, never getting there is never getting into the mindset where failure is a negative.
Yeah, you've got failure a chance to learn, right?
It's an opportunity. And that failure that I had 7 years ago, I have some of the biggest opportunities I've ever had in my life. And that all came from that one failure.
That's amazing. I think that's an amazing lesson for us all to learn, is that whenever you're faced with challenges, you need to see them as an opportunity.
Yes.
It's an opportunity to learn and to grow,
Mhm.
because growth is never bad. My father told me that long ago. You never can have a bad, something bad can happen from growth, right? Or
Right. Well,
from change.
change is, and we're scared to change. Everybody's scared to change. We all are. That failure that took place for me, I could have easily looked at it as like, you know what, I'm not good enough. I should stop here and just refocus on what I'm good at. But had I done that and not kept pressing forward, I wouldn't have the opportunities. Like last week, 2 weeks ago, I was able to spend 3 days with Tony Robbins' #1 sales guy, Eli Wild. And I would have not had that experience had I given up 7 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. How'd you get that experience? That's amazing.
Speakpreneur.
Wow, that's great. Were you
Yeah.
a speaker for one of the events for them?
Not for them, no.
Not
but
yet.
Eli was. Eli was at the
Oh, I
Speakpreneur.
meant this other, Eli Watt is
Yes.
his name, right? Speaker at the event that we were
Yes,
at.
he's amazing. I spent 3 days, and I'm telling you, I felt like I was at kindergarten when it came to sales.
Oh, that's amazing. Now you learned a lot from your dad too, though, didn't you?
That's right.
What did your dad used to do? What was his?
My
occupation?
dad, well, what I was talking about in that presentation was the fact that my dad used to read to us when we were children. And every night he would read to us. And he would always focus, you guys got to learn. And I never understood, like, what's so big about reading until I was an adult. And I had a conversation with my mom, and she's like, you know why your dad read to you every night? Yeah, because he cared about reading. She's like, no, that's not what it was. He couldn't read when he graduated high school. Can you
Oh
believe
my
that?
gosh.
My wife still,
From graduating from high school and still couldn't read.
no,
How can that happen?
that's what, but you know, look it up, and it still happens today. It's sad. Kids are pushed through schools because they're understaffed.
Oh,
And so
What
anyway,
state
my
was
dad,
that in?
that was Illinois.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm not gonna,
Coming
I don't
from
want
a
to
field
throw
of
under,
education.
I don't want to throw the state under the bus. But my dad learned to read. He ended up becoming a powerful Christian speaker and speaks in front of thousands of people. And what I like to say is my dad didn't allow his story to define his future. And that's one of the things he really helped me understand is, like, no matter what happened to you, no matter what your past is, it doesn't define where you're going. And my dad is a big example of that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
That is amazing. Wow. How long ago did you lose your father?
No, my dad's still alive.
Oh, you still have him to
my
learn
mom
from.
is the one that passed away. Yeah, my dad is still, he actually lives in Naples. I'm still learning from him.
Did you stay with him last night?
Last night.
In Naples. We live right in
Yeah, I
Naples
know.
right now. Naples, Florida.
I saw him
For
last
those of
week.
you who don't know,
Yeah, my dad
there's a lot going on here.
he's an amazing father, and he's taught me so many lessons.
Wow, that's great. Now, I know you have an incredible story that I love the most. We were talking about this before the show, how you met your wife. And that was like, what, 6 or 8 years ago?
That was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
She's this young thing, beautiful wife, Brenna Nipper. And she's just beautiful. And I really connected with her at that event. And that's how we became friends as well.
Yeah, she's an
So
exceptional.
tell that story, how you met her.
So we met downtown Fort Myers. And when I first met her, I was single and I was not looking to get married. And then I met her. We spent some time together. And I'm like, wow, this person is unique. And then I asked her out, and she said no. And so this went on for 9 months.
There is quite an age difference. So that
Yes.
was the reason why she was hesitant.
It was both of us are hesitant, but you know, I'm a person that jumps all in.
Well,
So
I think you saw something you wanted.
I saw it, and
you
when I
were-
want something,
and I
go
love
after it.
that.
Oh,
I
just-
love that.
And I didn't give up.
That's what people say is men, when they want something, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, I don't give up. And it did take 9 months. And finally one of the times she was getting close to saying yes, so I said, hey, she's like, where are you going to take me? So how about we go to the Everglades and we'll take an airboat? She's like, I'm not doing that. I don't hardly know you.
Right, that was smart. That was smart of her. Hello.
That shows you, I've got things to learn. So then we went bowling. And she
Okay.
agreed to bowling, and ever since we've just been.
And you hit it off.
Yeah, we hit it off, and we do business together. We've experienced our losses and some great success together, and she's she's just a special person.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so glad. I know she is a special
Yeah.
person. I loved her. Anyway, so now I know that you also work with at-reach children or at-risk children.
Mhm.
So do you want to tell us what sparked that mission for you?
Yeah, so I've had some challenges with my own son. He's 18 now, but I think you met him, Cole. I don't know if you met him
Yeah,
that day, but
I love that.
he's
name.
exceptional. He's doing so great, but he had a lot of challenges. And then at one of the Speakpreneur events, I met Joshua Underwood, and Joshua, he was in prison for 14 years.
Oh, wow.
He's turned his life completely around. He attributes that to learning God and really putting that in his life. And so he's big into helping the at-risk youth in Lee County.
Okay.
Just a couple weeks ago, we took a couple of them fishing in the Everglades, took them to church in Chaplusky. So he's doing some really amazing things with these kids. And I've been able to participate in the last every other weekend. He goes to DJJ. So it's these kids that are 13 to 18.
Wow.
Let me tell you, these kids have got a tough life.
Yeah.
And so what I'm looking to do is take a couple of these kids under my wing and show them some principles, some of the things I learned growing up as an adult. And he's doing great in helping them understand and look to God. And I'm hoping to show them some tools for life.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, what was why did you get interested in that? What was it that sparked something for you that made you interested and want to make a change like that?
Yeah, I travel with Paul on his Speakpreneur, so we're in a different city.
Okay, and that is the founder of Speakpreneur,
Yeah,
right?
Paul Getter, amazing guy. And we go twice a month to different cities in the United States. And every city we go to, what I find is I end up talking to these young men or women that are young professionals that are needing some guidance.
Okay.
And so that started me thinking, I have some things that I could offer. Because when I was a young professional, I needed help. I needed someone to look for and show me some different tools and things that I could do.
Did you go to college?
No, I have an 8th grade education.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, you'd never know it. You're a class act all the way.
I've had so many stories about how I got to where I'm at, but a lot of it is through mentors that I never met. And the ones that I have been able to, they changed my life. And so I try to do the same thing. I want to pass it on. That's what I want to do, pass it on.
Yeah, well, tell us one of these quick stories, real quick, that could inspire someone out there, going through what you've gone through, and maybe not thinking they can't do as much because they don't have the education, or they have all these excuses of their parents aren't together, or their parents aren't even raising them. Is there anything that you could say to inspire? Some story that you've learned from that could inspire someone out there to do more and be more?
I think the biggest thing, I think back in my life, and there was one day I read this little paper, and I was, we probably have all been there where we're thinking, man, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. Whatever I'm doing, it's not working. There is something out there. And I ended up reading a little, I'm telling you, it was a couple of sentences in the paper. It's a $500 scholarship when I was about 23. And I signed up for it. They gave me the scholarship, and it was a 3-month program. And that's what I encourage you. Try to find anything, any kind of program that teaches you business or how to be a better employee. And that's all I did. I just kept looking for things. And this course changed my life. At the end of 3 months, I had a business plan.
Wow.
And Beth Hagen is the one that was doing the course, and it changed my life. That little ad in the paper taught me how to have a business plan. I got focused, had one accountant in this one nice community. Within a year or two, I had 60 or 80 accounts. I was doing over $1 million, just no time at all, just from that little help that I had.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it's just, look, they're out there. It's like people are out there to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be
I agree.
have
Gotta be
the
looking for it.
courage to ask.
Got to be looking for it. You got to ask the questions.
Yes,
right?
you do.
Got to be interested. People are interested in you, and you're interested in them.
That's
Don't you
correct.
think so?
Yeah, that's 100%. And it's out there. I think one of the biggest books that I've ever read that's changed my life was The 7 Habits. So just picking up books and reading books, I've read who knows how many books, and that really helps.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
That advice. James, do you have anything else to add? I know you have questions that come up when we're working here.
I do. I have two. One, it's a quote, and it's actually from Henry Ford. And it's before Henry Ford met Harvey Firestone and Charles Fisher, he had lost almost all the family money. And he ran into those two, and his family said he was crazy. But he told them, he said, failure is an opportunity to begin again more intelligently. That was a quote from Henry Ford. Failure is an opportunity to begin again more intelligently. So I was just thinking about the relationship between taking that failure, beginning again more intelligently, and then being able not only to build your own business, but then also to mentor other people. That's
great. Yeah, man, I can't tell you how much I believe in not looking at failure as a negative. It's so crucial because we fail all day. We fail all day.
When you fail, you're one step closer to the win.
That's right.
That's the way to look at it, right?
Zig Ziglar says most people fail their way to the top.
That's right. And you look at these guys. One thing that's been neat about with Paul is Paul's exposed me to some guys that are worth a lot of money and have a huge amount of success. And that's what they say the same thing. Jeff, you can't be afraid of failing.
Right.
You have to fail, and eventually it will work out. There was one thing I was thinking about today. Is do you watch golf?
Yes.
Rory McIlroy just won the Masters this year. Okay.
Okay.
It took him 17 or 16 years to win the Masters. He failed 15 or 16 times with a lot of pressure. And why did he keep doing it? Is because, again, like what I was saying, those pillars, is he believed in it. He thought it was worth it. He thought it was attainable, and he was willing to put the work in. And I think about that every day. I think, man, I have some big goals in the next 10 years, and I have to remind myself of those 3 things every day.
Wow, that's so true. Yeah. Okay, so now, do you have anything else to say, James?
I do not.
Okay, we'll get to the real estate minute. And this time, we're going to talk with this man here because he has this wonderful company that does landscaping for businesses.
We do Palm Health for communities.
Okay.
So we're focused on the palms, which surprisingly, many people aren't focused on palms. Sadly, it's wild. We live in Florida.
I don't believe it. I'm not going to believe it.
But palms are a big deal. Imagine if you have yellow palms in front of your house that you're trying to sell. How's that gonna?
Right. Well, you said the future of palm care in the USA Today article that I read is married to biology and technology. And I wanted you to explain that.
That's great. So there's some exciting new tech that's coming out when it comes to palms. Well, not even palms, but for ag, for turf, for things like that. And we're looking into, right now they're using drones to fly over crops, and they can identify crops that are not doing well or plants that are not doing well.
Right.
So there's some good tech in drone. So there's a lot of technology, and we use technology when it comes to mapping trees and taking photos and putting all the data behind them of what the conditions of the palms are.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I get all my real estate minutes from ChatGPT. I figured out they know more than Google. So anyway, quality landscaping is what ChatGPT told me this morning. Can also improve energy efficiency with shade trees, reduce noise, and offer privacy. Studies suggest that attractive landscaping can boost property values by 5% to 15%, depending upon the quality and design. What do you think of that?
I agree with you. I mean, how about this? Think about Florida and no palms. It wouldn't be Florida.
No.
So if you don't have palms and trees around,
They don't naturally live here?
No, there's a lot of native Florida palms, but a lot of these palms, you'd be surprised they're not from Florida.
Okay.
But you need them.
Where are they from?
They're from all over. Well, some are from Madagascar, some are from the Middle East. So they're all from all over the world here. One thing that's neat is medullas that you'll see planted. They're the big date palm. They're grown in California, Arizona, and they're brought here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's,
Well, that's
it's cool
interesting.
stuff.
Yeah, do you have anything else to add to the real estate minute there that I haven't asked you?
I think just if you have palms and trees, you know, the best thing you can do, I'll tell you one thing. The best thing you can do with your palms to keep them healthy and green so that you're getting that 5 or 10% value is just fertilize them every other month.
Okay, that's
They're
a great advice.
That's as simple as it gets, and I don't think they get enough fertilizer. That's a good tip.
Well, also, I wanted to know about your purpose. I think it's always very interesting for people to know what their purpose is. Have you figured out what your purpose is yet?
My purpose in life?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. My purpose in life is I strive every day to influence one person that day and to inspire them. And then the other part of my purpose is my family, my son and my wife. They're top of my purpose. And so everything I do in life is really to leave them a legacy.
That's awesome. That's great. Family's the best.
It's the best. And if you can just help one person each day, is just think about just taking that little moment in time to be able to talk to somebody, and you don't know how that might change their life.
Yeah, exactly. And now, why was that such an easy question for you to answer? How did you know that answer so quickly, do you think?
Because, well, I have it written down. I look at it.
He has a cheat sheet.
No, I don't. I'm not looking at it, but I look at that every day. I mean, it's just what my purpose is. You know, one of the things that I've taught my son is just be honest. If you're going to do anything, be honest.
Yeah.
And so, but I believe if you have a mission and you have a purpose and you know what you want, all the other things will fall in place.
I think that's great advice.
Because even decision making with business, my family comes before my business. And if I have to sacrifice my business for some time with my family, I'm willing to do that.
That's something you learned from that $30 million almost loss at the beginning of this show that we talked about.
Yeah. I mean, really, I focused on my family and we had to rebuild. But all that matters is family. Money comes and goes.
Yeah.
But family, you can't.
I totally agree with you.
There's nothing more important.
Exactly. And I think that you are a proven example of that. And I think a lot of you, and that's why I wanted to have you on the show to share your message. Do you have any final words?
No, I've had a great time. Thanks for having me, Tracy.
I'm glad you came.
I know.
I'm glad you drove all over Florida to our studio in Naples to meet James and talk to me some more and share your knowledge with our viewers. And we're going to have all of his contact information. All of Jeff's contact information is going to be in the biography below the video. So please hit subscribe. Hit that like button if you like this video. If you're still watching, I think you liked it. And then post your questions below. You know, we can get them out to Jeff, even though he may not be sitting there looking at my YouTube all the time. We can make sure that he gets word of your question. We get you an answer. And also share this opportunity is what I was going to say. It's an opportunity for you to share with someone else out there who wants to build a business that's coming across some obstacles, challenges, adversities, as Jeff did, and as we all do building a business. Share it with someone and help them change their life to make it better.
I do have one thing I thought.
All right, let's hear it. Not at all. That's what we're here for.
I talked about the at-risk youth and young. So I'm actually opening up to 3 kids.
Okay.
And I have one potential in Dallas. So if there is 1 or 2 kids that are interested, I'm 18 to 24 seems to be, or even 25 seems to be the range that I'm willing to do some 15-minute calls each week with that person. So if someone wants to reach out,
that's amazing.
And it won't cost anything.
You're taking time out of your day to do that?
It won't cost anything.
For these children? Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it needs to happen. Somebody's got to start looking at these kids. Someone's got to be helping them with some real life skills. And I think Joshua was doing great with God, but I think I'm going to try to help focus too on giving them some tools that might be able to help them.
Wow, that's amazing. Who's Joshua again?
Joshua Underwood. He
Oh.
is,
The man at the Speakpreneur event?
yeah, he's doing outreach.
Okay.
I mean, look him up you'll see what he's doing.
Okay.
His charity is 313 or something like that. I can't remember. Joshua Underwood.
Okay, well, there you go. There you have it. Thanks for coming to see us today. There's going to be another podcast for you to see next week on Friday, but we're here today and you can learn a lot from this one. So I hope to hear from you. Subscribe, like, post, share. Love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.